Hey guys, Dan here from Spurs HQ and welcome to part 3 of my 2019-20 Premier League predictions. I've said all this stuff before about this being my opinion, so I'm just gonna say I'm going from 10th place to 7th place in this video, and part 4, the last part, will be the top 6. So without further ado, let's go. In 10th place, I have got Wolverhampton Wanderers. Had a fabulous season last year, coming up from the Championship and finishing best of the rest. Very impressive. I like Wolves. I like the way they play, like their team, their players, their manager. I just like Wolves. You know, they're a good team. But this season, I think teams around them have improved more, and they haven't improved as much. Their squad's very small, and they've got European football to factor in. And if they're going to focus on that, which I expect they might, because they'll get more money in the club there that way, and they'll get more reputation. I think it will affect them in the league as well, because their squad is not that big. It's quite thin, so there won't be room for too much rotation for Wolves. I think they'll still be good. They'll stay in the top 10, but I think they will drop considerably lower, down to 10th, because of fatigue of players, and just generally I think their form might just drop off at times. So I'm not predicting them to finish as high as we did last year, but still a mid-table finish for Wolves is still good, and they can continue to build what they're trying to do at the club. So yeah, Wolves in 10th, and that leads straight into 9th, which we've got Brendan Rodgers, Leicester City. Now, they've lost Harry Maguire. Big loss to them. He was a great defender for them, and he was, I'm sure it was part of Brendan Rodgers' plans in the future, but no. Man United came in with £80 million, making him the most expensive defender of all time, and Ramos, Van Dijk, Hummels, they still play football, so yeah. But I think they've still got some great players. And Vardy, this might be his last season. I think I heard something about he's retiring or moving on at the end of the season. Maybe, I don't know. But he's getting on a bit, but he's still a good striker. He's a great player. They've got Yuri Tielemans for 40 million on permanent deal. A great signing for them. He's starting to become that brilliant player that everyone thought he would become. We're starting to see that show through. He's a good player. He's creative. He can pick out a pass. He's a good buy for Leicester, and I think he will definitely help them to this 9th place finish this year. They've got James Maddison as well. He created the most chances on goal, I think, for Vardy last season. He's a good player. His free kicks are good. He's creative. Leicester have got a real good player there in James Maddison. They've brought in Dennis Pratt from Sampdoria. Great name. I think he'll be okay for them this season. Do a job. Can fill in for Maddison or Tielemans. They've also brought in Ayoze Perez from Newcastle for about 30 million. He's a good player as well. I think he will start for them, maybe on that right hand side, and that allows Demarai Gray to come in and, you know, be backup, or Rashid Gazelle. I think they've got. Well, I'm not sure. Rodgers is a fan of him and wants him in his team, and they've also got some youngsters. Ben Chilwell still at the club. He's a good left back. Harvey Barnes coming in. He looks very, very good. I think he'll be a very good attacking player, and I think he'll play for England one day. Yeah. So Leicester they've got a good team of players. The loss of Maguire's big, but they more than enough quality to still stay in that top 10 and finish 9th under Brendan Rodgers as his first full season as Leicester manager. Moving on to 8th place, I don't want to say this, but we've got West Ham United. Last year was a bit of a transition for them with Manuel Pellegrini. I think they did okay. They finished 10th, I believe, so top half finish is not too bad, considering you just got a new manager and probably a new style of football to go with it. They brought in some good players. Pablo Fornals, he looked very good at the under-21 Euros. I think he'll be very good for West Ham this year. And I think he might be that creative player that they might have been lacking. They've also got Manuel Lanzini coming back from injury. That's going to be very good for them. He's a good player. They've sold Marco Arnautovic, which is a big loss because he got some good goals for them. But he's too much of an ego. He's a bad influence, and they've got rid of him. They've brought in Sebastian, I think it's Haller or Aller, I'm not sure how you say it. But he's a good striker. He was good for Frankfurt last year, and I think he will score quite a few goals. And if they can get Fornals and him playing well, they could be lethal. They could be lethal this league season. Felipe Anderson, Yarmolenko, they haven't quite strengthened their defence, but Issa Diop and Balbuena, they're good players, solid defenders, and I think West Ham are going to have a very good season, and I think they're going to finish 8th, and they could be challenging for the top 6 potentially. But most of these teams in the top 10 can. Everton can, who we'll talk about next. West Ham, Leicester, Wolves, they can all challenge, but I think West Ham will finish 8th. And moving on to 7th, we have got Marco Silva's Everton. They looked quite good at the end of last year. He got them to play some good football. I like the way they play. Slick attack, fast pace, build up. I like the way they've played last season. They've lost Idrissa Gueye. Massive loss for them. He was probably their best midfielder. He's gone to PSG now. They have replaced him with Bamin from, I think he's called, from Mainz. I think he'll be alright. But we need to talk about the 2 massive signings. Alex Iwobi from Arsenal. He's good, creative player. I think he'll be good for Everton. And Moise Kean up front, yes. I can't believe that he joined Everton, who, by the way, have released their plans for their new stadium, which very similar to ours. Just saying. There's a lot of the same stuff in there. It looks impressive, but let's forget about stadiums. Moise Kean for Everton, about £40 million they spent on him. I think that's decent. I think he'll be very good for them this year. One thing for Everton for me is they haven't brought in a backup defender. I don't think they've got Michael Keane and Yerry Mina to play at the back, and they haven't brought anyone in. And Zuma's gone back to Chelsea. Phil Jagielka is at Sheffield United. They haven't got any backup there, but I still think their attack will speak louder than their defence. So for that reason, Everton finishing 7th, the best of the rest this year. So anyway, guys, that's the end of part 3. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Spurs related content, and I will see you all in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.